Bonjour and welcome, and you know what I'm going to say. Welcome to the best day of the week. New comic book day. Well, the review, not the actual day, just the review. As always, let me start by thanking my sexy subscribers. And I can see that, and thank you so much to all the new ones that have come across from Threads, all my new friends from Threads. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And like I keep saying, that is a really good bunch of guys and girls over there on Threads. So if you think that like you've had enough of it all on social media, like following comics and the film stuff, you know, Marvel, DC, whatever you're into, just give it a go. Give it a go. It's not as mad. It isn't as bonkers as X. But I think that's why a lot of people are liking it. It's mellow, man. It's and everyone is posting about the stuff, predominantly the stuff. We all have our little whinge, like I'm going to do this week. And it is becoming a whinge of the week, isn't it? Normally I didn't do it every week, did I? But it does seem like I've done one for the past few weeks. But nevertheless, it does not mean that this isn't the best hobby in the world. I have got 10 other comics that are all good. And I'm going to do the deep dive on 5 after the scroll a bit later on. So if you just want to hang around with my top 10 of the week, please do. That's the half of it. The other half is for the nutters. And if you're liking and commenting, and if you're liking, commenting, and subscribing, you're my top of the sexy list. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know why not. But if you're just still looking and liking, I don't care. I love you all. Let's get on with it. I won't say it was a bumper week, to be fair, because it wasn't. But still good comics out there. There's still good comics. And let me know in the comments if there's others you're picking up apart from these ones that I'm recommending. First up, Infernals. And what a cover. I love this at the bottom here. This reflective, a bit like the World Tree cover. Where you just notice the reflection of her, and that's good about Satanism in the world and etc. It gets very dark. This issue of this comic, it brought me on side finally. 5 issues in, and obviously I've been getting it for all 5 issues. I think I had it wasn't my whinge of the week, but I think I was comparing it to the Gargoyles of Gotham, and saying that that's the Batman I love. This didn't grab me from the start. The father-son thing isn't for me, but I've got to admit they really made it work this week in that, and I'm going to show you why, because that's going to be in my deep dive. This continues to be a romp of epic magnitude. Really enjoying it. Everything you kind of they have nailed it on that book. I don't think I've done a deep dive on this. This is only the second issue of this I picked up, apart from the big bundle I picked up from Paul at Comics and Fantasy in Hornchurch, Essex, where I pick up all my new stuff. Hello, Paul. But I've started. I've got a big pile because I was so impressed with last month's issue, which was the first part of the storyline, this Bizarro storyline, and it's continued this month. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. It's about time that they done Superman well, and it's the final issue of Batman City of Madness, and this was also very good. Issue 3, great ending. I won't if you do follow me on the deep dive, because it's such weird and wonderful artwork, but it suited the storyline in what was called the Gotham Below. That I thoroughly enjoyed that. So they're the 5 they're my top 5. And my book of the week is this, by the way. So, you know, get ready. I don't know, is that getting blurry on the screen? I don't think it is it? No. But like I say, this weird and wonderful, glorious artwork. And he did write, I believe, Christian Ward. It's written and drawn by him. And you can tell it's just been a very laser focused kind of personal vision of Batman. But his art style suited being down below. Bit jarring in the first issue, I will say. But nevertheless, I do like that art style. So that's my top 5. These are the honourable mentions. Blade, Brian Hill. Now, Brian Hill has just started doing Ultimate Black Panther. He's been on this since the beginning. What's this, issue 9? Oh, issue 8. If you like the Blade movies and you've been maybe put off in recent years of the Blade storylines and stuff, like I have, to be honest, it's a return to form for the character. And Brian Hill is a decent storyteller. And what I like about this is he's getting on with it. We've had 8 issues of story and momentum and new characters and new dire straits for them to overcome. It's literally been just on from more or less issue 1. So I do recommend that. Vader, Marvel on their Star Wars books. Anyone who's followed my channel for a while know that I do rate most of them. The ones I've read, this is still top of the tree for Marvel Star Wars stories for me. And they are getting back to normal. The build-up. It's the second, I think it's the second part of the build-up. It doesn't say whether it's part 2 or not, which is a bit annoying. But I think it's either part 2, maybe part 3. And they're just building up this, I think it's called the Schism of the Empire, whatever it is, Dark Force. So really enjoying that. Nice art job as well. This final issue of this DG Chichester, just delivering, and the art team and everyone involved. Nitho Diaz and on the penciling, JP Mayo on the ink, Andrew Dalhouse colouring. I've just done a nice throwback on this. Just a glorious throwback. Loved the fact that it was just 4 issues. You know, someone had the mad idea in the office. Let's go back. What about when Daredevil had his armour? Let's tell another story about that. Love it. Absolutely love it. Moon Knight, issue 2. Lovely David Finch, fully painted cover. I wish Finch was on the inside as well. That's not to say that the artist on it, old Capuccio, isn't good. Don't get me wrong. But he's no David Lynch, is he? The only thing I will say about this is I've enjoyed the first 2 issues. Get on with it now. Just kind of get on with it. And I know they're going with the kind of introspective, kind of more of a slow burny feel for Moon Knight and the brooding and all that. But yeah, come on. We've had a bit of that now for 2 issues. Can we get on with it? Yeah, shall we? Thanks, Marvel. And the last up in honourable mentions. Now, is it Rossini? No, Rossmo's. Rossmo's artwork, right? When he done that Robin, he done that. I don't know. It was Red Robin. What colour Robin he was? It didn't suit it. Somehow his cartoony style of all characters suits this Sandman story set in the 1940s. I don't know whether it's giving it that Rocketeer kind of feel. Not that it's anything like that, but I don't know why that suddenly popped to my head. I don't know what it is about the cartoony. I think what I'm trying to get at is a cartoony feel to the artwork that suits those kind of pre-war romp kind of things. Don't know whether that's the thing. So there we go, guys. That's my top 10 of the week. Deep dive on the top 5. They're my also rans. We're going to do the cover of the week as well. Imagine if you only had pocket money for one of these comics. What would be the cover? And we might have a couple of other ones that I haven't mentioned, but they might have glorious covers. But imagine, you know, when you used to go to the spinner, you've only got pocket money, you can't buy them all. I couldn't have bought 10 10, 12, 15 comics a week back then. Perhaps that's why I'm reliving my childhood now. Anyway. We'll do the cover of the week right at the end. It's all chapterised as well, and I'm going to chapterise this as well because one of you guys, you did comment with a suggestion, and I thought, yeah, why not? Why not? Just in case you're one of them that just wants to see me whinge. I don't know, and by the way, I don't know if I have whinged about this before. Thunderbolts. I've given it 3 issues, guys, and it's an absolute waste of a great team and a great idea and some great characters. And the shocking thing about it is, right, the shocking thing about it is one of my favourite books is by Kelly and Lansing writing it, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy. They, for me, have nailed it, got it so on point for that book. This one, I just don't know what's gone wrong. I just absolutely, you know, one of them books that just makes you roll your eyes. I wish I could put my finger on it a bit more succinctly for you all. But that's just my little whinge of the week. Can't stand it. I'm dropping it. I've given it a chance because I love the Thunderbolts, the team, the concept of it. I really do. But this has been a waste. It might be that these first 3 issues, they should have, well, certainly the first 2, maybe. No, it's not. No, I was gonna. No, it's not. It's just not working. Not working for me. The art teams aren't great on it. I don't know if they've had the same art team on it, to be fair, either. But yeah, it hasn't worked for me. No, sorry. That's my whinge of the week over. Because now, after the scroll, we're going to have a nice look, a nice in-depth look at the good stuff. Join me after the scroll. Okay then, let's go. Infernals, issue 1, first up. I'd never heard of any of these creators before. Got to admit, really like the raw kind of painted look of and the interior art is the same. Noah Gardner, Ryan Parrott, John J. Pearson and Lola Bonato on the art. I've never heard of any of them. So forgive me if they've done something really awesome because before, but I've gone on this one and this is it's really good. Right from the start, an intriguing start, or an intriguing first page, but then just get straight on with it. Just get straight on with it. My name is Abraham Morgenstern and I am the son of the devil. End of. And then it goes from there. But, you know, pages like that, yeah, this is just a good, and you know straight away what you're in for. And all of the imagery and like it reads a little bit like a John Constantine, an early Hellblazer comic, in my humble opinion. Yeah, and it's all kicking off sex, drugs, and rock and roll. A little bit of backstory here. With these are just the characters we're gonna. It's a bit like the Mick Flanagan Netflix series, The Fall of the House of Usher, where we're assembling all the characters of the family, and they're obviously all attached to the devil. And this is really, it's just really nice artwork. It's just all fully painted stuff, which I really enjoyed. This was such a strong first issue, and I know we've been banging on about first issues like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, and stuff like that. And my only criticism, I've enjoyed them both, and I know that the bigger publishers, you know, have got to do certain things at certain times, but this is a proper first issue. This one, lots going on, introducing you to all the new characters moving forward, and then at the end, here's the family assembled because the old man's on his deathbed. You know, we don't know this. You know, this is the character that Mark Hamill was playing in Fall of the House of Usher, if I can make that kind of comparison. So you've got everything you need here, and you get a cliffhanger at the end. Or not a cliffhanger, just a nice hook, and a lovely hook. Yeah, cliffhanger is the wrong word. Just a lovely hook for the next issue. So I thoroughly recommend that one, guys. Next up, here's the book that kind of melted the geeky old hog's heart this month, this week. Joshua Williamson, I've got to say, is just a superlative writer. So it's not the writing in this. It's not the brief. He's obviously been given the brief to make Batman and Robin. Here's old Zats that they set up this week. Now, the artwork by Nikolai Chimesi, apologies, as always. I am still waiting for an artist called John Smith. Can't wait for that day. But this artwork is... it does suit the kind of youthful exuberant style they're going for in this book, which obviously as a geeky old hog I haven't really been enamoured with, but it's that manga. This manga. But I do really enjoy this art style. I was wondering whether I was going to like it on Batman and Robin, but no, I did enjoy it. It did make this story move on. At least we're out of his school, and it's not like Dad making sandwiches and all the wives fawning over him. Which, you know, let's just say that's an issue of a comic I'm, you know, never going to read again. But this is all good stuff. All of this is all good. I love this manga style. Cracking on with this story, like the speed blurs and stuff. So yeah, and this kind of effect is properly manga. And I couldn't get over the fact that it was, you know, the boy wonder is his son. And love scenes like that's a great panel of art. That I didn't think I'd be seeing that in a Batman. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Sam Keith back in the day, for the sheer visceral nature of a you know, and it's this, but. And then we are back in the high school, but she's being confronted. We think that she's Shush, or whatever name she's going by from the first issues. But what I did enjoy, right, is this confrontation. And this is the character she is like. He's like Damien suspects that she is, and then Bruce gets a little insight into Damien's school life, which in previous issues he's been forcing him to do. Now, this is where a writer like Joshua Williamson is, you know, he's good. I mean, he's good everywhere. That's why he's a good writer. But this is an example of why, because now I was really interested, like this panel here, and then the story from there, where, and look at all this is done in nicely quiet. This pause in the story, this right here, is what's turned this book. It's what's kind of warmed me to what they're trying to do here, which is the father-son. Which I haven't. Listen, I've got a son, and we bonded over cinema and comics and Batman and Lord of the Rings and everything, but this wasn't. It wasn't working on me. It just wasn't working on me until this issue. And it was this bonding session between father and son that I've got to admit, because Bruce hears one of the bullies at school call him Art Boy. And what he realises is his son has created this comic. I just love the way they've done. I love the way they've given the pause to everything. This 2 pages of lined paper, you know, where he's creating his own comic. This was a really beautifully crafted half dozen pages, with a fist bump at the end, which is in keeping with the audience that they're predominantly after in this book. And then we're back into the action with panels like this. So, guys, I won't go to the last page because it'll kind of, there's another spoiler there as well. What I will say is, it's won me over. It's won me over. So, I'm pleased to say every now and again I get it wrong, but I'd give it 5 issues. I know I had a whinge of the week about Thunderbolts, but that has won me over, that book. Keep it going, guys. That's all I can say. On to a book that just hasn't missed a beat. And his artwork, Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork on this, is a bit similar to the guy who just done that with that with the manga-esque blurs. But Philip Warren Johnson obviously can't keep off. I think they're changing the art team from next month or the month after. I think he is still writing it, but this is just all glorious stuff. And I do like comic book artwork when there is a lack of words. I know you can't do it for the whole way through every month, don't get me wrong, and I know you kind of got to, we need the chat, but I do just enjoy those moments. I think it's because I enjoy comic artwork so much. Artwork so much. The lettering in this book is great. Reminds me of a little punt. This just puts a smile on my face. This book, it's action packed. It's got great dialogue for the characters. Even the Transformers, he's giving them their particular characters, and I know that's nothing new, but when it gets poorly written, it gets overlooked, and he has not overlooked it. Great art, great story. Deserves to be a hit, this book, and it deserves to be a wider hit when it's released in trade paperback. Deserves to be an even bigger hit. Just like you can just see by these pages, the way that the action is pew pew. The way that the action, and I'd love to know whether or not this lettering is part, because he's writing it and drawing it. I'd love to know if this is part of the artwork. Some of these have got to be. But nevertheless, the lettering on it, I think I've given them a shout out before, but come on, Russ Wooten and Mike Spicer, colorist and letterer. This is a proper team effort on every level, and they all deserve equal praise. But obviously, Daniel Warren Johnson the most, because obviously it's his little baby. So as you can see, I just wanted to show, and the manga blur, the manga style. Similar to the guy on Batman and Robin, looks like they've come out of the same art school, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to see more of the guys and girls that come out of this particular art school if they're going to do artwork like this. Look, there's just not an empty panel. There is something going on in every panel. This will stand up to repeated viewing over the years, and for that, it's just a great comic. And I know I've done deep dives on that before, but it's just good. It's a good book. And this about Bizarro, we all love a bit of Bizarro, don't we? If we've followed comics for any length of time over the years. And this is a nice art job. And obviously Bizarro is taking over Metropolis with, I don't know how he's infected it actually, but as you can see, mayhem has ensued. Everyone's becoming infected, including Superman, which I'm really loving. This is day one in the city of Bizarro, but obviously Superman's fighting it. Beautiful artwork, John Timms, beautiful. Just suits Superman so well, and at the end of this book, there's not, and again, there isn't an empty panel in sight, unless it really needs to be. But yeah, there's just nothing. There is something going on in every page of this. Here's Batman. Also, Superman obviously needs help because everyone's going mad, and he's just trying to save lives. But he's even got a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow. Is there a razor strong enough? Oh no, probably uses a laser or something, doesn't he? Superman's beard. This is John Constantine has never looked so cool. Look, he's got he's got tight fit trousers with his jacket. Look, he's got his hands in his pockets. Look, he's had his hair done. He hasn't got a fag on. I love that. I love the fact that they've squeezed in John Constantine looking like that. He has never looked so fine. That just made me giggle, to be fair. It doesn't make me dislike the book. I'm not going to say, oh my God, he doesn't look like John Constantine of continuity and etc. etc. He's pointless. I just think he looks very, very dapper indeed. Superman needs a shave, and I think John has had one. Like, wow, our times are a-changing. So again, this is a great romp. We all know Bizarro's shtick. Here's Lois. She's kind of leading the madness in Metropolis with all the acolytes of Bizarro. And Superman's doing his best to defeat him with Batman. But what I wanted to draw everyone's attention to was, look, he even gets spat on. No, don't spit on Superman. What I really liked at the end of this, so you've got all this madness, chaos, everything kicking off. And then, I love this stuff. Grim. He's had to go to Gotham. Look at the Batmobile all crushed up. Look at this stuff. This is what I thought this was. I thought this was epic. That is great stuff. Sorry, the Batmobile. The Batmobile was crushed in Metropolis, I think, and he's come to Gotham. That'd make a great poster right there, I think. Yeah, brilliant artwork by John Timms. A great read. That's the second part. Really, really thoroughly enjoying that. But comic of the week is, I won't show everything because there is a nice last page at the end, and obviously I can't bend this round, so I do apologise. So we'll just have a little look at things like this. That's what's made me love this book so much. I'm sorry where it's oversized. It might be going out of the side of the what's it now, but the third issue, if you haven't been picking this up, it'll make a glorious trade paperback. The story will flow a lot better. And his art style has suited this storyline so well, which is about, like I say, the Gotham Below. Look at stuff like that. Look. It's just all great stuff. But getting in the classic Batman stuff as well. Christian Ward. And he's down there with one of the Court of Owls, trying to stop the madness, and look, all the madness leads to the Arkham in the Gotham. The Gotham Below is basically a facsimile of the Gotham Above, a bit like the Stranger Things shtick. But look at that, stuff like that, artwork like that, and this is the Killer Croc of down below. It's just mental, but glorious also. So yeah, just recommend. This is my book of the week as the finale, and what a finale. Like I say, I can't show you the last few pages. It all kicks off this issue. It's just a beautifully built up finale. I know this won't be everyone's cup of tea for Batman. I know people prefer more traditional, but this art style did suit it. That's why I think it'll work better in graphic novel, because you're kind of you're led through this almost surreal, ethereal storyline in the Gotham Below. So so you're kind of in another world anyway. This otherworldly thing going on, and obviously we've got to deal with a lot of stuff in Arkham Asylum, haven't we? And I'll leave it there with the upside down Arkham's Harvey Dent. Just that nightmarish vision of a nightmarish city anyway, and of a nightmare institution. So yeah, really not my book of the week. Glorious. So cover of the week. I don't think that's gonna, an alien squid suit Batman isn't gonna do it for many people, but it's not aimed at that. It's not aimed at that, is it? So cover of the week indeed. Is it going to be a fallen gun from the Transformers? Could it be the cover to Blade, where he's got both swords out and he's surrounded by a horde of ghosts? Vader with his lightsaber. I mean, it don't get any better than that, does it? Moon Knight, glorious David Finch fully painted cover. And it hasn't really been the best week at all round, but and particularly for covers. I mean, that's a great cover, but it is a great cover, and it's nicely done. But it's that laid back kind of subtle thing for a horror book, and nothing wrong with that. I bought it, and it's an excellent read. But your pocket money, you're looking at these books. Oh, I can only afford one. It looks all right, but yeah, So I think we would discount that. Vader's always going to be good, and he's melted through that. That's going to make me look through that book all day long. That the Transformers one is probably on the static side with just a fallen weapon on the battlefield. So we will discount that. And then I don't know between these three really. I mean, Blade is looking cool again, being surrounded. Ready. He's ready, and don't we all love that pose? I just thought that was, and the eyes and the scowl. This one, this is all good, but and it's a beautifully rendered by Finch, but I still don't think it's exactly action. It's action packed. Not that there are any action packed. I mean, there's a fighty daredevil cover, but it's Baron Strucker, so it's not exactly setting the world on fire, is it? I mean, I know he's got a glove on fire, armoured glove on fire, but yeah, well, even the Batman and Robin cover. I mean, Robin playing football. Yeah, really? I love the comics, so, but as a cover goes, like, I think it's got to be Blade this week, guys. I think it's got to be good old Blade, because that looks mean and moody, and he looks like he's ready for trouble. And I would want to see inside how that one kicks off. To be fair, I want to see what transpires inside this book, and for that reason, that is my cover of the week. Thank you if you're still with me at this point. I love you all. And until next week, I will bid you adios.